2018 marks the 5th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative proposed by Chinese President Xi Jinping. The BRI is a proposal for economic cooperation. It focuses on connectivity and aims at achieving win-win outcome, hoping to create more opportunities for global economic growth and shared prosperity of all countries. To celebrate the Belt and Road Initiative, which has yielded fruitful results during the past 5 years, the National Television of Laos from Lao PDR, the People's Television of PTV from the Philippines, and the China Global Television Network, or CGTN, from China, as member of Belt and Road News Alliance, or BRNA, jointly co-produced special programs which talks about the concrete of the initiative and win-win cooperation on Vision into Reality, the Belt and Road Special.
And now shall we also open it to the floor? I understand there are a lot of Belt and Road Initiative scholars and experts sitting there, and our students coming from different countries. I'm sure they have their own input.
Hi, honorable speakers. I'm Wei Li from Malaysia. Malaysian government has recently announced the cancellation of 3 BRI projects, namely the East Coast Railing projects and 2 pipelines project, due to the very high national debt of our country. So what's your opinion about our government's move, and what do you think the ASEAN countries can work closer with China in order to prevent such similar situation in the near future? Thanks.
I think about challenges of BRI is that maybe the implementation of the project is too hasty. Then the study of long-term economic efficiency is not enough consideration. Therefore, that become some problem or interest that not meet the communities. Many countries express their will to participate, but some countries don't want to contribute their own asset to the project. Ask only from China, it's difficult. We must give some contribution together because it's the common project, that the common interest. So I like to raise.
Okay, shall we have more questions coming from the audience?
As you know, China and the Philippines still have territorial dispute. And I'm wondering, and our government's position is that we should set aside these disputes and work together, for building a better future, for economic cooperation, for China's investment in Filipinos society. So my question is, what is Philippine society's attitudes towards this issue? And what is your suggestion regarding how do we actually, setting aside these disputes and continue with our Belt and Road Initiative and participate in Philippines' Build program? And that's a great program. I'm very glad to hear that.
The question about our skirmish in South China Sea, which we call the West Philippine Sea. I guess, Consul, you have an answer prepared for that.
Thank you. Actually, when President Duterte took up his office, he emphasized that the Philippines is an enemy to none and friends to all. And this was again reiterated by Secretary Martin earlier during the show. And we are trying to pursue this because we are pursuing an independent policy that is good for the Filipino people. Having said that, this because Philippines has its position, China has its position, and I'm sure other countries have their own respective positions. If we stand steady on our positions, we are not going to move forward. So as a way to move forward, we agreed to put it on a separate track. So right now, for the Philippines and China, we have created a mechanism, a separate mechanism called the bilateral consultation mechanism, wherein we agreed to meet at least twice a year to discuss sensitive issues. And aside from that, we move on in other areas where we can cooperate. So I think that is a good way to move forward.
Right. And at the same time, China and ASEAN countries have also been working on this mechanism and be able to discuss on a more frequent basis about what might be the rules and the ways to move ahead. So talking is actually at least the starting point to resolving the problems.
My take is that there is something between vision and reality. It is a know-how build-up process. For Laos, the know-how is how to communicate with its people regarding the Belt and Road infrastructure constructing projects. For Philippines, there might be know-how of going back to China and going beyond China to other countries alongside the Belt and Road. For Chinese or for China, there are maybe many tasks down the road. So I want to ask, what's your take on the immediate know-how build-up for each and the respective of your countries and how to tackle that? Thank you.
We could really ask all of you, what's going to be that next immediate step and the next immediate know-how that you are looking at? Belt and Road Initiative. Let's start from you.
It's to get projects on the ground rolling, because for the Philippines, we've had a long history of planning. And of course, the current administration knows this, and they said that it's time to stop planning. It's time to implement projects, and this is what the current administration is currently doing.
The Build program is an 8 trillion pesos program for the entire government, which will last until 2022. And the Belt and Road Initiative is a complementary program coming from a superpower, an economic superpower like China. So just like what the Consul Frank said, that it is about time for us to take action, stop talking, and start building, and building so we can get the results. And that is the most important action that we should be doing now.
With the right vision in hand, of course.
Right vision.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mr. Minister.
I think the next step is to promote the free trade area. About the free trade area, that we have already the agreement between ASEAN and China. We have. So the substance of this agreement, we should look at and follow this. I agree with our Philippine colleague that they said we should have the mechanism, we should talk, we should have the good dialogue, talk together. Then what we can do now, like the professor said, I think. Then I'd like also to mention about the institution, because we are now working with the construction, but not the target of the construction is not only to have the quality of the railway, but also the good cooperation of cultural activity between the Chinese engineer and the population along the railway. We should have this.
Free trade itself is an institution.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, indeed, it is something that is coming all the way back from the ancient times, and yet it is a vision when it's being translated into the right action that could benefit all of us. And that is all the time we have for this special program, Vision into Reality, a special program focusing on the Belt and Road Initiative, presented to you jointly by 3 televisions from the Philippines, from China, and from the Laos. I'm Tian Wei from CGTN.
And I'm Spokson Silapit from Lao National Television.
And I'm Martin Andanar, representing the People's Television all the way from the Philippines.
And yes, and before we go, we have young students from Laos here who have put out us some unique costumes of different ethnic groups that is living in Laos. And of course, we also believe the theme of the BRI is diversity is strength. Please enjoy.
to the stage. Let's have a group photo of Belt and Road Initiative. 有请。